John Deere 730. Introduced in 1958 as part of John Deere's famous 30 Series tractor line, it was a direct upgrade of the 720 and was the last two-cylinder tractor produced at the Waterloo, Iowa, plant. In total, some 24,495 730s were built for North American and international markets before production ended in 1961. At the time, the retail price of a 730 was around $3,700, depending on fuel options and configuration. It was a big investment for the time, but farmers knew what they were paying for: durability, power, and reliability over time. So what made the 730 so special? It was the final and most complete step in the two-cylinder line, a legacy that spanned nearly half a century. John Deere poured all of its experience, engineering, and real-world farmer feedback into this machine. And so, many consider the 730 to be one of the best John Deere tractors of the 1950s. The John Deere 730 is powered by a horizontally opposed two-cylinder engine, 6.2 liters for the diesel version and 5.9 liters for the gas or LP gas version. With a power output of up to 59 horsepower PTO, this is one of the most powerful tractors in the two-cylinder class. In particular, the diesel version of the 730 once held the fuel economy record at the Nebraska Tractor Test Lab, an achievement that lasted nearly 3 decades. The manual transmission is 6 forward and 1 reverse, simple but effective. The driver can easily adjust to the needs of tilling, pulling a trailer, or running a harvester. Rear-wheel drive, 2WD, provides strong traction on a variety of farming terrain. Wheelbase is approximately 93.7 inches, dry weight is nearly 7,000 pounds, heavy enough to ensure traction but still flexible for everyday farming. Standard June 13th, 38 or May 15th, 38 rear tires provide optimal traction in dry fields or soft soil. The John Deere 730 features flat-top fenders, more modern than older models, and more convenient with integrated lighting and solid steering. Improved hydraulics allow for operation of multiple trailing equipment. Many versions are equipped with float-ride seats, reducing vibration, increasing operator comfort after hours of work in the field. Ladies and gentlemen, if you grew up in a small town in Iowa, Nebraska, or Kansas in the 1950s, you probably saw, or even drove, a John Deere 730. The pop-pop of the two-cylinder engine in the early morning. The smell of diesel fuel mixed with morning dew. And the pride of driving a machine that grew the food that fed America. Today, more than 60 years later, many 730s are still running well, a testament to their timeless quality and love of the land. If you have memories of a John Deere 730, please share them in the comments. Together, we can preserve the memories of a time that will never be repeated. John Deere Model 60. In 1952, John Deere introduced the Model 60 as a direct successor to the legendary Model A. During its 5-year production run, from 1952 to 1956, more than 57,000 John Deere 60s rolled off the assembly line in Waterloo, Iowa. In 1956, it cost around $2,500, a hefty investment for farmers at the time, but well worth it. So what made the Model 60 so special? It was a versatile tractor, powerful yet easy to operate. For the first time, farmers could choose between gasoline, all-fuel, or LP gas engines, a rarity at the time. Not only was the Model 60 more powerful than the Model A, it also marked John Deere's move into a more modern era, where convenience and durability were put side by side. In many people's memories, this was the first tractor my dad let me drive all day in the field, and that's saying a lot. The John Deere Model 60 was powered by a 321 cubic inch, inline two-cylinder engine. Power measured at the drawbar was around 37 horsepower and up to 41 to 46 horsepower when belt-driven. That was enough power to pull 3 plows or operate a large hay baler, heavy but common jobs on the average farm at the time. The LP gas engine option offered high performance, less smoke, and cleaner operation, while the all-fuel version allowed for flexibility in using available fuel. The Model 60 used a 6-speed forward and 1-speed reverse transmission with a dry clutch and rear-wheel drive. Although not a synchronized transmission like later models, it was smooth enough for the driver to operate rhythmically after a few times getting used to it. From 1954, the Model 60 added power steering, an important improvement, especially when working with large tillage equipment. This tractor is about 139 inches long, nearly 87 inches wide, and weighs about 5,300 to 5,800 pounds depending on the configuration. Not too bulky, but heavy enough to work reliably and steadily in Midwestern farmland conditions. The strengths of the Model 60 are simplicity, ease of maintenance, and durability. The Patrol hydraulic system is reliable. The standard 540 RPM rear PTO shaft allows for a variety of equipment connections. The frame is sturdy, with easy access to internal components, something many mechanics of the time loved. In addition, John Deere also produced variations: orchard, for gardens, high crop, growing high vegetables, and standard. Perhaps for many watching today's video, the image of the John Deere 60 lying in the backyard, gathering dust from time, is still there, as a part of youth, a part of agricultural America. And it still lives on, through memories, through exhibitions, or in a barn where someone still keeps it as a treasure. The John Deere Model 60 is not only one of the best tractors of the 1950s, it is a part of collective memory. An icon of the era when American farmers were both tough and resilient, and always put their faith in the green of John Deere. John Deere Model 70. In 1953, as America was recovering and growing strongly after World War II, John Deere introduced a landmark tractor, the Model 70. It was the direct successor to the Model G, and immediately became a symbol of new power for farmers who needed a machine that was both durable and economical. From 1953 to 1956, more than 43,000 Model 70s rolled off the factory floor in Waterloo, Iowa, a number that is enough to prove the impressive appeal of this machine. The retail price at the time of its launch was around $2,800, a significant investment at the time, but completely worth the performance it brought. What made the Model 70 special was not only its superior power, but also its ability to choose from a variety of fuel types: gasoline, LP gas, all fuel, and especially the diesel version, which was considered one of the most efficient diesel tractors of the 1950s. For farmers, this flexibility was pure gold. The Model 70 was equipped with a 2-cylinder horizontal engine, displacement 379.5 to 412.5 cubic inches depending on the fuel version. Power output was up to 51 horsepower at the belt and 46 horsepower at the drawbar, enough to pull the heaviest farming equipment of the time. The diesel version was especially notable for its impressive fuel efficiency. It set a record in the 1954 Nebraska trials. The machine used a 6-speed forward and 1 reverse transmission, controlled by a dry-plate clutch. Although it lacked the synchromesh of later models, many who drove it still remember the solid feel of shifting into gear, a familiar, mechanical experience. At about 136 inches long, 65 to 87 inches tall depending on the model, and weighing in at around 6,500 to 7,000 pounds, the John Deere 70 was a big machine but not difficult to handle, especially if you ever got behind the wheel of one on a foggy spring morning. The 70 featured an independent PTO, dual disc brakes, and optional power steering, advanced features for the time. The diesel variant, in particular, used a gasoline-powered pony engine starter, a detail that was both fun and nostalgic for those who spent hours in the shade of a shed repairing or starting an engine in the winter. For many of us, the name John Deere 70 is more than just a tractor. It was the steady hum of the distant fields, the slight vibration through the steering wheel as the tractor plowed through the ground in April, the sight of my father, my grandfather, working hard from dawn to dusk. The John Deere Model 70 was a testament to a time when machines didn't just work, they lived, along with people. It was powerful, durable, and easy to repair, all the things an American farmer needed as he rebuilt his life after the war. If you've ever driven a 70, or even seen one in the field, you know, this is no ordinary tractor. It was one of the best John Deeres ever made in the 1950s. John Deere Model 40. In 1953, John Deere introduced the Model 40, a tractor that was supposed to usher in a new chapter after the Model M. Over the course of 3 years of production, 1953 to 1955, more than 18,000 John Deere 40s rolled off the assembly line in Dubuque, Iowa, serving thousands of farms across the country. The starting price at the time was around $1,500, a big investment, but a worthy one. So what made the Model 40 so special? The answer lies in its combination of reliable performance, simple design, and multi-purpose capability. From the cornfields of Iowa to the vegetable farms of Georgia, the Model 40 was more than just a machine, it was part of the family. The Model 40 used a 1.6-liter, 100.5 cu in, horizontal, liquid-cooled, two-cylinder engine. Power was rated at 22 horsepower at the drawbar and 24 horsepower at the belt pulley, a respectable figure for a compact tractor of the time. The engine was smooth, easy to start, and ran on gasoline or all-fuel blends, flexible to the needs of farmers of the time. The John Deere 40 was equipped with a simple but effective 4-speed forward 1-reverse transmission. Drive was provided by a 2-wheel rear axle, with manual steering, but light enough to maneuver on pasture or plowed land. For experienced operators, the machine felt like a hand-to-hand connection, quick response, no jerking, and easy to get used to. Depending on the model, the weight ranged from 2,900 to 3,200 pounds, heavy enough to provide good traction, but light enough to not sink in soft soil. The compact size made the Model 40 versatile for working in tree rows, barns, and narrow country roads. That's why the utility and high crop models were so popular in the South. One of the highlights of the Model 40 was the 3-point hitch system, a new connection standard at the time, allowing for faster and more efficient attachment of farming equipment. In addition, the engine was easy to maintain, the components were streamlined, and the design was user-friendly. The body design was simple, sturdy, and painted in the iconic John Deere green and yellow, still an unmistakable symbol today. In its heyday, the John Deere Model 40 was more than just a work tool. For many, it was the first machine they learned to drive alongside their fathers. It is the sound of the engine roaring in the dawn, the smell of gasoline mixed with the smell of fresh grass, the sweat and pride of the American farmer. Today, more than 70 years have passed, the Model 40 is still preserved, restored, and displayed at agricultural fairs as a historical witness. Not only because of its durability, but because of the spirit it carries, the spirit of diligence, patience, and passion for the land. The John Deere Model 40 deserves to be one of the best John Deere tractors of the 1950s. A proud legacy, not only of the John Deere brand, but of the entire generation of people who made America's rice bowl. John Deere Model 50. In 1952, as America was entering the era of agricultural modernization, John Deere introduced a completely new tractor model, the Model 50. This was not simply an improved version of the legendary Model B, but a breakthrough in both technology and performance. During the production period from 1952 to 1956, about 32,574 John Deere 50s rolled off the assembly line in Waterloo, Iowa. The price when it was launched at that time was around $2,000, a not small investment, but considered worthy of the quality and durability it brought. So what makes the Model 50 so special and popular? That's because it was the best of what a mid-range tractor could offer at the time: more power, smoother operation, and especially easy to use for American farmers familiar with the traditional two-cylinder tractor. The John Deere 50 was powered by a 190.4 cubic inch, horizontally opposed two-cylinder engine that produced about 31 horsepower at PTO. It was a big step up from the Model B, not only more power, but also smoother thanks to the improved carburetor design and ignition system. With the ability to run on gasoline, all-fuel, or LP gas, this tractor suited a wide range of conditions and budgets of the time. The 6-speed transmission and 1 reverse gear increased the versatility of farm work, from deep plowing to pulling a trailer. Although there was no synchronized gear, anyone who had operated an old-fashioned tractor would find the controls familiar and easy to master. Top speed was about 10 miles per hour, enough to move quickly on country roads safely. The Model 50 had a wheelbase of about 90 inches and a weight of about 4,855 pounds, just right for small to medium-sized fields. It was heavy enough to provide the necessary grip when working on hard soil, but not so heavy that it would damage the ground after harvest. This machine had a 540 RPM live PTO system, a feature considered premium at the time, allowing the operation of harvesting equipment or water pumps even when the vehicle was stopped. The Patrol hydraulic system made it easy to lift and lower accessories. The steering was manual, but since 1954, users could optionally add power steering, which significantly reduced operator fatigue. The simple appearance, strong lines, and the traditional blue and yellow John Deere logo have always been a beloved symbol throughout the Midwest. For many of our generation, the Model 50 is a memory. For the next generation, it is a legacy. And for the history of American agriculture, the John Deere Model 50 is one of the best tractors ever made in the 1950s: simple, durable, reliable. As time has passed, the value of this tractor remains the same, just like the spirit of the American farmer: sincere, tough, and never giving up. Yes, folks, those are the 5 greatest John Deere tractors of the 1950s, machines that were not only powerful and durable, but also associated with memories of a prosperous agricultural era in America. From the compact, agile John Deere 40 to the technologically advanced 730 of the late 1950s, each one tells a story. In the rumble of the engine is the sweat, the aspiration, and the pride of generations of honest farmers. Thank you for taking the time to review the golden pages of American tractors with me. If this video brings back some old memories for you, please share them in the comments below. I look forward to hearing your own stories. See you in the next video.